Admiral Zex Thara's 6 eyes dilated in unison as the holographic display materialized before her command throne. The crystalline structure of her exoskeleton vibrated with barely contained anxiety as she processed the impossible data streaming from the outer rim sensors. "Repeat the transmission," she commanded, her voice carrying the harmonic undertones that marked her as a member of the Cytherian ruling caste. Commander Vale Knox, a hulking Brontarian with metallic skin that reflected the bridge's ambient light, manipulated the control interface with his massive claws. "Admiral, the human vessel. It's still there. Still impossible." The footage played again in perfect three-dimensional clarity. A sleek obsidian craft, no larger than a Galactic Empire scout ship, hung motionless in space near the Proxima Junction, one of the most heavily fortified checkpoints in Imperial space. What made the scene impossible wasn't the ship's presence, but what it had done to get there. The human vessel had traveled 47.3 light-years in 12.6 minutes. Dr. Key Luna, the Empire's chief xenotechnology specialist, floated forward in her biomechanical suit, her tentacled form writhing with scientific excitement. "Admiral, we've run the calculations 17 times. Even our most advanced quantum tunnel drives take 6.7 hours to cover that distance. The humans have somehow compressed space-time in a way that violates the Heisenberg-Cytherian principle." Zex Thara's mandibles clicked a sign of deep contemplation among her species. The Galactic Empire had ruled over 4,847 star systems for over 2 millennia, their technological superiority unquestioned. They had conquered races that could manipulate matter at the quantum level, absorbed civilizations that built megastructures around entire stars, and eliminated species that had mastered time dilation to such a degree that they experienced years as seconds. But humanity? The bipedal mammals from the unremarkable Sol system had been catalogued as a Level 2 civilization barely a century ago. They had just achieved interstellar travel using crude fusion drives and were still fighting wars with kinetic projectiles. "Sir," interrupted Lieutenant Zorketh from the communications array, "the human vessel is broadcasting on all frequencies. Universal Translator is struggling with the message." "Put it through," Zex Thara ordered. The bridge speakers crackled with static before a distinctly human voice emerged. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Breakthrough. We're here for the scheduled first contact meeting. Sorry we're a bit early. Still getting used to the new drive system." A bit early. Zex Thara's auxiliary hearts began pumping stress hormones through her circulatory system. The scheduled meeting wasn't for another 3 standard days, and the human ship had been at the Sol system's edge just hours ago, according to their long-range surveillance. Dr. Kiluna's tentacles were now moving in rapid patterns, the Malarian equivalent of frantic calculation. "Admiral, I'm detecting energy signatures that don't correspond to any known physics. The ship's hull is emitting chronoton particles, but in a pattern that suggests they're using time itself as a propulsion medium." "That's impossible," growled Commander Vale Knox. "Time isn't a fluid. It can't be manipulated like plasma or electromagnetic fields." "Tell that to the humans," Kiluna replied, her bioluminescent patches flickering with excitement. "I'm also reading quantum entanglement networks throughout their ship, but they're stable across macroscopic distances. Our best quantum computers require absolute zero temperatures and perfect isolation to maintain entanglement for microseconds. Their system appears to be operating at room temperature." The tactical officer, a cybernetically enhanced Nexari named Clixbar, spoke up from her station. "Admiral, we're detecting additional anomalies. The human ship's mass is fluctuating. It's currently reading at 47% of what it was 5 minutes ago, yet its structural integrity remains perfect." Zex Thara stood from her throne, her full 3-meter height, imposing even among the diverse crew. Options? We could initiate standard first contact protocols, suggested Vel Nox. But, Admiral, we're not dealing with a standard level 2 civilization anymore. These humans have somehow leapfrogged directly to technologies we can't even theorize. Sir, Zorketh called out again, receiving another transmission from the human vessel. Let's hear it. Captain Chen's voice filled the bridge once more. We're transmitting our technical specifications as requested in the preliminary negotiations. We figured you might want to understand how our gravity manipulation drive works before we proceed with cultural exchange. The holographic display immediately filled with incomprehensible schematics. Dr. Kiluna's form went rigid as her neural processors attempted to pass the information. These equations, she whispered, they're using mathematical principles we haven't discovered. Look at this, they've somehow unified quantum mechanics with macro-gravitational theory, using what they call probability cascade fields. And this section here describes manipulation of what they term dark energy infrastructure. Dark energy? Zex Thera inquired. The theoretical force causing universal expansion. We've been trying to detect it for centuries. The humans are apparently using it as a power source. Captain Chen's voice returned. We're also happy to share our consciousness transfer technology and our recent breakthrough in converting quantum vacuum energy into matter. We thought it might help with your resource distribution challenges across the Empire. The bridge fell silent. Consciousness transfer had been deemed impossible by every major scientific institution in the galaxy. Vacuum energy conversion was considered a perpetual motion fantasy. Commander Vel Nox's metallic skin had shifted to a dull gray, a sign of confusion among his species. Admiral, how does a species advance from fusion rockets to reality manipulation technology in less than 50 years? Dr. Kiluna's tentacles had stopped their frantic movement. I have a theory, she said slowly. What if humanity didn't develop this technology? What if they discovered it? Discovered it where? Zex Thara demanded. In their own neural architecture. Look at these bioscans from previous human encounters. Their brains operate on quantum principles we thought were limited to advanced artificial intelligences. What if their consciousness naturally interfaces with quantum reality in ways we never imagined? The transmission continued. Oh, and we've included the plans for our matter compiler technology. We figured you might find it useful for terraforming projects. It can convert base elements into any desired configuration using quantum template overlays. Zex Thara's 6 eyes focused on different sections of the impossible schematics flowing across her displays. The Galactic Empire's greatest minds had spent millennia developing technologies that these humans apparently considered basic tools. Sir, Clixbar reported, long-range sensors are detecting 17 additional human vessels approaching from different vectors, all demonstrating the same impossible propulsion signatures. 17? Vel Nox's skin flickered between gray and red. Admiral, we need to reconsider our first contact protocols. We're not dealing with primitives seeking to join our civilization. We're dealing with a post-technological species, Dr. Kiluna finished. One that has integrated with the fundamental forces of reality itself. Captain Chen's voice returned one final time. We're looking forward to cultural exchange and mutual cooperation. By the way, we've taken the liberty of cleaning up the dark matter accumulation around your border systems. Should improve your faster-than-light communications by about 400%. See you soon. Admiral Zex Thara settled back into her throne, her exoskeleton now vibrating with something entirely new in her long military career, humility. Commander, she said quietly, prepare a message to the High Council. Tell them we may have found our successors,